Please watch and listen to the end of this video. I promise you won't regret it. And if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, it would be gratefully appreciated. My name is Morgan, and what's happened to Heather and her family has jolted me out of my little box I call life. So today's little support video is not only for Heather, but for all the Heathers out there who have suffered a traumatic brain injury, a TBI. Interestingly, March is National Brain Injury Month, and the motto for 2021 is, "More than my brain injury." Or as I see it, I am more than my brain injury. It's a campaign to educate others about what it's like to live with a brain injury. Heather says that she loses words at times, or loses her train of thought, but it's far deeper than that. When the brain is injured, it doesn't just jump back into gear and fix all the connectors that were hurt or damaged. No, the brain goes into a stupor of sorts. It's like it forgets that at one point it was a supercomputer of our beingness. How do I know? I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. Heather is much more fortunate than I was. There is so much more information and help now about head injuries, the TBIs, than there was when it happened to me. The medical community now agree that the brain needs time to heal from its injury. But for me, it was work, work, work. Work that brain to death if you have to. So Heather, take time to heal your body, mind, and soul. I know you want to get home and provide a sense of normalcy for your baby cubs. But sweetheart, Mama Bear needs a lot of TLC in the many months ahead. You told Matt that you would not be prideful, so remind yourself of that often, especially when you need a bit of help. Reach out and be glad for it. And the last thing a sufferer of a TBI should do is push themselves to get over it. Ever heard that comment? Too many have, and they struggled to do just that. I about killed myself doing just that, and it's been a long, long road trying to find me again. Deep down inside, I know I won't really find myself again, so I work at just trying to be okay with me and find joy again. Back when I suffered the TBI, one of the hardest things for me to accept was that I went from a brilliant PhD down to having a third-grade math and comprehension level. Thank you, rehab, for never helping me see any light in my future. They just worked me into oblivion, which is how the medical community believed back then. To be honest, I still get a bit angry at my limitations and changes, but I have to be aware and stop the anger in its tracks. After a year of rehab, I finally quit and decided to get on with my life as best I could. Then one day, when I couldn't figure out the simple task of how to use the mouse on my computer, a friend of mine happened to call and listened to me rant and rave before she calmly said, "Morgan, you will never be the woman you were." I got quite angry, which quickly evaporated into a cascade of tears, which were totally foreign to me. I argued that I was a good person. I did a lot for others. I helped as needed. I did everything for everyone, and I did it gladly. I enjoyed helping people. I used to love life. Now I hated it. I wanted me back, I cried. But she gently said it would never happen. My friend had a family member who went through the windshield of a car, so she knew what she was talking about. That day was the turning point for me. I felt like I finally understood what rehab was telling me. I would never, ever be the same again, no matter how hard I tried. Then one day I decided to list all the things I had done in my life, so I could try to do them again. And if not, well, I was at my rope's end. and I was ready to let go and be gone from this life. Thoughts of suicide? Oh, you bet. I had thought it out. The whole thing was well planned. I felt I had nothing else. So one by one, I removed the items from my list that I could no longer do. I had once been a therapist, certified therapist. I had a builder's license. I owned 3 businesses. I'd been a special advisor to President Reagan. I was an ace in my field of intelligence. I could go anywhere and do anything. I spoke several languages. I could program computers in 3 computer languages, and on and on and on. Months later, that long, impressive list was gone, and sadly, I had to admit, so was I. My friend was right. I would never be the woman I had been. I was now a woman who suffered panic attacks when trying to shop. I suffered from psychomotor problems because I had also had brainstem damage. I endured post-rehab slumps way too often. Chronic pain took over my life. I began to drink too much. I went through bouts of depression. I got overstressed at nothing at all. I was bitchy, cranky, unmotivated, except for trying to prove I was okay to others. And that horrible list goes on. As for killing myself, well, way back in the molecules of self, I knew I couldn't do that. It just wasn't in my makeup. But it still does cross my mind at times when I get stuck in a rut. I sort of carved out a safe space for myself in my house, and I hid there, always pretending I was working on something important. I depended on Dagny, my friend and sister-in-law, for way too much, but I honestly felt so lost, I didn't even see all this at first. I wasn't me, and I had no idea who I was or could ever be. From the time of the head injury, I struggled to keep a journal. Struggled because I could seldom find intelligent words and wrote like a 3rd grader. Years later, when I have reread parts of those journals, it just breaks my heart that life could be so cruel to me. That's another trademark of a TBI. Beating up on yourself, which only adds fuel to all the negative emotion that constantly lurks everywhere in your life. I knew I had to learn to accept the new me, whoever that was, and it seemed like, it was the hardest thing I'd ever tried to do in my entire life. And believe me, up to the head injury, I did more than anyone I'd ever known, and I loved life like you wouldn't believe. However, one day I found I was comparing myself to the rocks outside, but even then I had no idea which one I was. I was nothing. I was empty, and I loathed myself for it. One website says, for some people, being able to reframe their experience into a more positive light can be helpful. For example, a person might discover new strengths as a result of working to overcome cognitive impairments. It's been a few years since all that trauma, and I still suffer from side effects. Social, emotional health, well-being, and reintegration. I don't see it, but Dagny does, and she treads lightly around me when that happens. And that's my cue that I'm doing something wrong. If I'm paying attention, that is. TBI victims also lose the filters that used to help guide them, especially in communication with others. We just blurt out what we want and don't think about the consequences. I know I have even scared people in my life because I am so outspoken with the things I say. One YouTube channel even went so far to ask if I was a stalker because I was so forward. No, for God's sakes, I'm not a stalker. I still care about people. And so many other things. Every comment I make on a channel or in an email I compose. It takes me a long, long time to do so because I constantly reread and change it for fear that it might sound too open and honest for its intent. Don't always succeed, but I try. And believe me, I know where the edit button is so I can go back and fix a comment. Dagny remembers the person of the past. We go back to 1978. She knew me as a very powerful woman, and I know that it frustrates her that I'm no longer that person. One day, out of the blue, I profusely apologized to her for depending on her for so heavily for all these years. She just shrugged it off. But at least I knew what I had done and have struggled not to do it anymore. But I'm even a failure at success in that regard. Recently, I've been forcing myself to do videos for my YouTube channel. My videos for you, Heather, is part of this. Training for myself, I guess. And doing the editing feels like the hardest thing I've ever done. But this week I was working on a home movie of a trip Dagny and I had taken to Glacier National Park several years before the head injury. I was stunned to hear Dagny laugh, to hear her confidently tell me to stop being so bossy, and how we just laughed at our antics during the 2-week trip. It was just mind-boggling. I told her about it on the phone this morning. She's visiting family in New Mexico most of March. I almost cried when I told her I wanted my friend back, and I was so sorry for pushing her away and changing her like I had. She didn't know what to say except that maybe we could talk about it when she got home. That's what traumatic brain injuries do, folks. They not only change the injured, but they have lasting effects on friends and family of that person. Heather, if anything, I hope you hear this and realize that you're not alone. There are way too many of us out there. There is support. There's great medical and emotional help now. You were a great mom before the accident, and I honestly feel you will return to that because of the help available now. So don't be hard on yourself. When times hit that make you angry or hurt over what's happened, or your physical limitations, that's the time to calm down, relax, and breathe. Take those wonderful healing breaths that the body so desperately needs from you. When you feel focused and calm again, that's when it's time for a couple more baby steps. Pushing your body, mind, and soul might seem heroic, but it isn't. Mama Bear needs time, and she definitely needs a bit of help on this new journey. I mean only good by calling you Mama Bear. It's because I see you as such, a great protector. Pushing your body, mind, and soul might seem heroic, but it's not. Mama Bear needs time, and she definitely needs a bit of help on her new journey. I mean only good by calling you Mama Bear. It's because I see you as such a great protector and teacher of your cubs. You would give your life for your babies, but that's not what's required. You need to be present for them, period. So again, take this journey in little baby steps. That's the new you for now. Yes, you are Matt's warrior queen, but a warrior queen who can live with baby steps as need be. I have binders of notes that I call the Find Me binders. Everything I do, I jot it down so I can do it again. And I refine the notes if need be. But the point is not to feel ashamed if you need notes now. Just do it and be glad for having them. And one more thing, dear Mama Bear. You have had an impact on me by letting me do these videos for you. They have forced me, or allowed me, time to look back again and see areas where I can make a bit more change in my life. reflection encourages that. So I thank you for allowing me to do these videos for you. It's my intention to come up with a new video about once a week. If you have any requests, please let me know. I've given a link to a great website in the description box below that will help educate anyone who would like to understand traumatic brain injuries more. Please visit the site. There are so many websites, but for now, for us, a really good one will suffice. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you all.